Yeah, guys. So today we are here to discuss about like in service now, right? So as we are very curious about like in our career, our development as well, our growth in our life, right? So which I can say service now is the best platform which has like a lot of growth, even for like in 2 to 3 years of experience also you will find a lot of exposure, a lot of CTC as well based on your skill set. Okay, so without wasting our time, let's get started with like an R stuff. Okay, so let me go with the second slide. So what we are gonna discuss here. Okay, so we'll be discussing on what is service now. So I'll tell you like in what is service now and why we need to use. Okay, why service now? What is the major reason? What is the major points or else a purpose of like in using a service now, which I'll discuss this as well. And then history of service now. So why, when it started, so how the origins of this service now. Okay, we'll discuss that and we'll go with like in who can learn and who can use service now. Okay, and this will help you a lot as well. And then benefits and advantages of like a service now or features of service now, which we'll discuss later after finishing this. And then we'll go with the modules in service now. We do have a lot of modules in service now. Okay, and that we are going to discuss as well. And we do have like in versions in service now, so we'll discuss what and all the versions we have and what is the current version is going on, what's the difference between like in the each and every version which we have. So these things and all which we are gonna discuss. Fine. And we'll go with like in PDI. PDI is nothing but personal developer instance, which ServiceNow is providing us to practice. Okay. So to explore, to do a lot of experiments in like a ServiceNow tool. Okay. The same project instance, whatever we have in our real time, the same thing which we have as a PDI, which we'll get from a direct ServiceNow. This is a free of cost, which I'll tell you how to register, how to create an account in PDI and how to practice, start practice and all. Okay, then I will go with like a ServiceNow tool demo. I'll show you how our ServiceNow tool will look like and how we are going to navigate. Okay, all these things and all which we are gonna discuss. Okay, yeah. So what is ServiceNow? So ServiceNow is nothing but in general terms. So this is a kind of like in one software platform which we are going to support a service management. Okay, information technology, service management. So service management is nothing but something. Let me give like a real-time example over here. So I have a mobile phone. Okay, my phone is like in under repair. So which something is like a not working properly. So what I'll do, I'll take my phone to like a service center and I will make that work proper, right, with the service guy or else the shopkeeper, maybe like in the mechanic or whoever it might be in the shop in the store. So he will look into my phone and they will sort it out my issue, right? So there is a kind of like an services is going internally, right? In the same way in our cloud computing as well. So before that, let me tell you like an one important thing. Service now is a cloud computing. So service now is a word, is nothing but a one company name actually. So we have a headquarters in like in California, and in our AP, it's like an AP in Telangana we have in a Hyderabad. So ServiceNow company we have that. Okay, so this is what something it's a kind of service management tool which we are going to perform lot of services internally. So services is nothing but something based on a client requirement which we will take it up. So we are not going to stick out like an only for one particular services. We'll go with like in multiple services as well. Okay, so this is what something which we are going to follow ITIL guidelines. ITIL is nothing but information technology infrastructure library. So there is like a few guidelines which we just need to follow. Not only ITIL, it's like in a service now, maybe Salesforce, Azure, maybe like an all the ticketing tools, whatever we have in a market. So those and all should follow these ITIL guidelines only. These standards which we just need to follow. Okay, and before that, let me tell you one more thing. So there is like in few more ticketing tools as well along with the ServiceNow. As I told you, ServiceNow is a ticketing tool. Okay, we have a AWS as well, Amazon Web Services, Salesforce, Azure. These also comes under like a ticketing tools only. Okay, but what is ticketing tool actually? So ticketing tool is nothing but this is a management tool which processes and then which we are going to provide a customer service request. So tickets is nothing but which we can say cases, issues, okay, compliance, these things which we can say tickets. Okay, so all we know about like tickets, right? Whenever we are facing like in any issue, we are going to raise a complaint. So that complaint or else that issue rising is nothing but something which we call it as a tickets actually. Okay, so it automates like in ITBM as well. So business processes as well. Based on like a client requirement, which we are going to automate it. Okay, so as we discussed, this is a, like a cloud-based platform. Okay, so something which we are going to handle out like in both the service management and module applications, which includes SaaS and PaaS. Okay, and then we this is what one of our best ticketing tool in a platform in a market, which I can say. So if someone asks you what is service now, tell them like this is a cloud computing company which we are going to work on like in cloud. Okay, so this is some one of like an best ticketing tool which we have. We are going to work on like a software platform which we are going to support a service management. Okay, so this is what which you can tell them about what is service now. So now why service now? Why we need to use service now? We do have a lot of things as well in a market, right? Why we need to use? So in service now, we do have like in come some kind of like a structured solutions in a out of the box. Out of the box is nothing but something in a instance in a tool only, which we are not going to or else which we are not required to build newly. So all out of the box features which is already there. Okay, if it is like a requirement is more than that, then we can go with the developing or enhancement or else configuration stuff and all. Okay, so which I can say based on a client requirement. So this is like an already pre-prepared stuff will be there in a out of the box. Out of the box is nothing but which is already there in a ServiceNow tool. Okay, let's say I just need to send a notification to the client based on one scenario. Okay, this will be already there in a ServiceNow tool actually. So if there is like any further changes which they're asking, then we can configure those things and we can make our work simple. Okay, that is what one of our best part which we have in a service now. Okay, and the second thing, we have a multiple instances as well. Let's say if I want to log in with like an any SQL or else I know NetBeans or something else, no need to go with like a specific individual username and password, right? So here we have a dev environment, test environment, prod, pre-prod, all these things and all. So each and every environment we have a separate user ID for to access. So let's say I'm using one instance, one ServiceNow instance. I do have like a separate user ID and password. Just like an email account is one tool, right? So we have a separate user ID and then password, right? In the same way here we have this. Okay, and one more thing, why we need to use the service now is nothing but, so let's say let me give like in one real time example to you. Okay, I just need to order one product from a e-commerce sites, maybe Amazon, Flipkart, or Myntra, or somewhere else, whatever it might be the platform. I just need to order something. Okay, so in order to order something, what I'll choose, I'll go to the application and I'll select according to like in my wish, it's like in features and advantages, whatever I like. Let's say iPhone, so I will go with like in my my budget levels and all. I'll select one thing. So after selecting, I just need to order that, right? After ordering, within a few days, maybe like in 1 week or 2 weeks, the product will be delivered, right? So this is the thing which we know as a customers. So internally what will happen after ordering the thing, there will be like an approvals will be there, and then after approving, dispatching will be there and shipping will be there, and then for each and everything, for approval, for dispatching, for shipping, for maintaining the stuff and also everything, there will be like in one special team will be there to work on these things, as it is like in bulk catalog things which is going on in a millions of millions order in a single day. They are going to make it as like in team oriented, so one kind of special team will be there for a specific task. Okay, so these internal stuff and all which we can maintain by using ServiceNow platform. Let's say there is like a lot of assets as well. Okay, so assets is nothing but laptops, devices, all these things actually. So these things and all which we can manage or else which we can go ahead with like and maintain the data as well. Okay, so let me show you in a ticketing tool as well. So we do have like an instance, I'll show you all these things later. Okay, So how these things and all will be there, let me go with the assert stuff now. So see here in an assert data, so we do have like a lot of, see, 2816 records which I have in my ServiceNow tool. Okay, so based on like a model category, device name, who is like an assigned to, what's the company, what's the state, so full details which we can maintain and manage in our tool. Okay, this is what one of an real-time use case which I can tell you. Okay, I can see there is like an disturbance. Yeah, now it's fine. Okay, and this is what one of a example which I can say for you, why service now. Okay, and what will be like in the one more use case which I can say, there will be like in a lot of factories is going on, right? Let's say one company, product based company or any other company ordered bulk assets or else bulk laptops from there. Okay, so I order one thing, and then let me go with like in the notepad, and that will help you a lot to understand. So there is like in one company called Wipro. So Wipro is going to hire like in 50K employees in this month. Okay, so 50K employees, they just need to get a 50K laptops, right, to work on. Let's say this is like an IT sector, software projects is going on, and 50 laptops is like an required. So what they'll do, they instead of like in buying those bulk records, bulk laptops into like in their company, they can take it out like in lease, rental, subscriptions on all these things and all. So in a 1 year, they are going to take it as like in contract based. Okay, they will check it out with like an HP, Lenovo, or Dell, any product based laptop company, and they will maintain these laptops. Let's say example, among these 50K laptop, there is like in 20K or else 10K laptops got not working properly. Okay, so what this Wipro need to do, they just need to raise the issues to like an HP that there is 10K laptops is not working properly among these 50K, or else let's say 10K is like a huge amount, 2K laptops. Okay, so these things and all which we can maintain. Let's say Wipro is like an HP gave like in 50K records. So this we can manage or else maintain in our service now. And then each and every step. So who got that? Who is like an assigned person? What is the serial number of that laptop? What is the part number? What is like a description of that specific thing? Okay, what's the company? Okay, everything. What and what not? All the details of like in those laptops which we can maintain in our service now. Okay, and there is like in 2K laptops is like in not working properly, right? Even this also which we can rise on issues, and even this which we can maintain. So these recording, maintaining, and then managing and all which we can perform by using a ServiceNow tool. Okay, this is what one of a small example which we can use. There is like a lot of things which we can go ahead with like in purpose of using a service now. So we can maintain like an user details. Okay, we can provide like a lot of services to like an end users. We do based on a modules which we can go ahead actually. Okay, and we do have like in each and every step workflows will be there. Okay, each task process which we can track all the things automatically. Okay, all these things which we have, and a lot more things which we have based on like in services. So why we need to do all these things is nothing but in the end of a day which we need to provide a best services to the customers. Let's say there is like in banking companies going banking stuff is like in going on, maybe like in any business is going on. Why we need to do all these things in the best way to satisfy the customers, right? In the same way which we are going to perform all these things based on their requirement. They in the sense here the client requirement. Okay, now we'll go with like a history of service now. Why we what the origin when it started. Okay, in 2003, okay, it was founded as just like in Glidesoft. The company, the first it was like in not as like in service now, it was like in Glidesoft actually. And later it changed to like in service now later actually. So see here the headquarters is like in California. So Fred Lurdy, David Lu, and Don, and then Bow. So these four guys is like a team, they implemented this service now. Okay, before this service now we have a BMC remedy actually. Okay, in 2004 it's like it became like an somewhat you know they have merged with like a few things internally, and they came up with like an different stuff as well. And then in 2012, so it became popular in India as well. And in our country 2015 to 16 it is like in boomed like anything, just like now. Okay, now it is like in streaming, and even the Zio and then lot of e-commerce sites are using still this service now. Okay, and in 2006, this company name got changed to like a service now. Before it was like in GlideSoft. Okay, this is a brief history regarding like in service now actually. Okay, now we'll go through like in who can use service now and who can learn service now. This is most important to us now. So you might came from like a different streams and you are not aware of like in service now, or else you are not good with like in some other stuff as well, right? So this is what something which we just need to know who can learn and who can use. So let's know about like and who are using service now. So a lot of employees are using, IT support staff is using, administrators are using, implementations are using, developers are using, customers, end users, clients, it's like and who whatnot, everyone is like and almost using this service now. Okay, and to work with like in service now, so what and all the things which we need, what are the prerequisites of like in using the service now. And before that, let me tell you one thing, that is service now, the basic thing was like in built in a language actually. So the programming language is nothing but Java, which they implemented. But whatever we are going to work on, the instance, current instance is like in JavaScript. So basics of JavaScript is like an enough, and then service now scripting, which we are going to go ahead, okay, which we are going to discuss in the further classes. If you have good in like in these two, then that will be very fine to work as a ServiceNow developer. Okay, so no need to worry about like in if you're not good in scripting or JavaScript or else any other way. Okay, no worries. You can start from now. Okay, just focus on like in JavaScript basics. Just go through like an online courses, like you can approach YouTube, Udemy. Don't pay unnecessarily. Just go with like in free courses. Okay, you have like in Code Academy, or else you have like in W3 schools. A lot of stuff which you have to go with like basics of JavaScript. So just know about like in what are the methods which we are using, what are functions, what are conditions. Okay, what are the things which we are going to use like in data types. Okay, these things is like in uh you can start in the beginning, then you can explore a lot. Okay, so here there is no prerequisites to learn JavaScript actually. From here you can start. Basic degrees like an enough. Okay, general degree or professional degree is like an enough. Although you are not good with like a programming language, no, not a issue. From now you can start it. Okay, everyone can learn service now, as this is like an user friendly. This is like a low code and no code platform. Even the non-IT people, maybe from civil or mechanical or triple E or something else, maybe which is not like an software programming stuff is not there in their subjects as well. Even they also can be become as like in service now developer. Okay, so don't worry about like in these stuffs and all. No
Okay
one
na?
is perfect. Okay, so just start with like in from now, and you can explore a lot, and you can
Mute.
be a good service now developer in future. Okay, so let me go with like in the next one. Advantages of ServiceNow. So advantages of features of like a ServiceNow. So see, the first one is like an instance based implementation. So as I showed you, instance based implementation is nothing but, see, which we are going to work on an instance. This is what. Okay, no need to install any software applications, or no need to download anything. No need to go with like in supported files or something else. Just you just need to have a this URL. That's it. Instance based application. So which we are going to work on this instance only. So here we'll get like an all the stuff over here, and based on this which we are going to work on. Okay, so this is like in one of the best thing which I can say. ServiceNow is a instance based application. No softwares, no tools, nothing. One URL is enough to work on ServiceNow. If you are a user of that specific URL, specific dev instance, okay, specific instance, ServiceNow instance, then you are free to work on. Okay, so that is what one of our best part which I can say advantages of service. Now I'll tell you how to create this instance for you, and how we need to work on, how we just need to practice all these things in a next class. Okay, and the next thing, low code and no code platform. This is the best point which I like a lot in service now, as I'm from like a CSC background. I finished my graduation under computer science engineering only, but still I will struggle with like in scripting a lot in starting. even in my college days as well, in in lab tests and all. So I felt a lot of difficulties regarding these methods, lines to lines of scripting and all. But whenever I approached the service now, it felt like in really a very good feel which I got it on seeing this one. Okay, because here we have a low and no code platform. So I didn't it's like an I'm not telling you like in we don't have like in completely zero scripting here. Okay, so here we have a script, because as we are a developers, as we are as software developers, for sure we need to use a scripting. But the beauty here is nothing but we are going to use a low code. That's it. But let's say if I go with like in .NET or Java or Python or else any other stuff, okay. So there I need to write like in lines and lines together of scripting over there. But here not required that much of thing. So here it is based on like an requirement which you are going to write a script over here. Okay, if your requirement is like in fulfilling without script, then very fine. If it is not gonna fulfill your requirement, then we will write the lines, a few lines of script actually. Okay, so sometimes it might be like in more than lines of script which we haven't imagined, but not frequently we are not gonna get that one. Okay, so even non-IT people also, which they can explore a lot and they can learn a lot. Okay, so don't think about like an I just need only the no, without zero knowledge of like zero scripting should be there in there. There will not be there any growth over there if scripting is not there. So this is the best thing which I can say, low code and no code platform, which is booming and in which we are going to do work comfortably. Okay, and I'm going to teach you like in all the scripting thing whatever which we are going to work in service now. Okay, no, don't worry about it. And see the next point, easy to use and user friendly. So did you understand? So if I open this specific instance, you will get like a few more things, right? See, if I open this asset, I'll get like an asset details, see asset tag, model category and all these things. If I open here, it's somewhat easy to understand. It's a kind of like a normal website or normal application which we have. Okay. Yeah, Kamal, I got your question. So the in the chat box I got, is there any GRC and HR module learning cover? No, we are going to cover like an ITSM and then integration section. That is what I'm going to convey later. It's like in we do have like in modules and versions thing, right? So there I'm going to tell you this as well. Okay, and if you have any queries, just keep it in a notepad and ask me at the end of the session, because these kind of questions which might cover in the next slides. Okay, don't mind of like in this point actually. You can ask me and I'll be there, and of maybe the time lasts for like a 9:30 as well, it's fine for me. I'll clear all your each and every single question and I'll leave the session. Okay, yeah, let's go with the flow. And that is what, so which we can say this is like an easy and user friendly as well, so which we can understand or which we can adopt somewhat within a few days. Okay, and it's like in we just need to keep on learning to explore a lot, and it will help you a lot while working. And with the next thing is nothing but we have a fast and powerful tool. So let's say I need to work on something. Okay, if I want to create a table in service now, within a 5 to 10 minutes, if it's like a requirement is like in something it's smaller one, then within a 15 minutes I can do it. If hardly it will take like in 1 hour to create a table. Hardly, if the requirement is like in too complicated to understand, then it will take like in 1 hour. Okay, if in case if I need to create a table in like in some other stuff with a lot of fields, values and everything, we need to query a lot, right? So which I can say this is something fast and powerful tool as well. Okay, and we are going to use like a low amount of configuration is like an enough. As I told you, creating a table. Okay, so we need to configure only very few things, not more kind of stuff and all. Already we do have like a pre-built kind of stuff will be there in a service now, and the existing thing which we can use. Okay, if something is missing from like an client requirement, that we can implement, that we can configure. So that's what low amount of configuration is enough in service now. See, the next thing is like in customer self-service we have. So as a end user, as a client or as a customer, I have an issue. I just need to fulfill my requirement. As a self, I can go with like in self-service and I can fulfill my things as well. Okay, so I'm gonna discuss more about like in the self-service in the further classes. Okay, we'll go with like the next one. So powerful reporting. So the reporting stuff and all which we can go with like in no the great stuff. Let's say I just need to go with like in need to create like a report over here. So here I can create like a report with the existing data, and that, let's say if something is like in changing, okay, then I can go ahead with the reports as well. So we have like in performance analytics and also these things which we have in our service now. Okay, and continuity of like in services as well. So continuity of like in services is nothing but something which we are having. Okay, so those stuff which we can continue for like in long last. Okay, yeah, Karthik, you raised your hand. Go ahead.
I have a doubt over here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so the doubt is like, so finally, like, we are going to learn the tool. So we are working on that tool based, ma'am.
Yeah, right.
All right, that's all.
Yeah, that's what which we are going to work on like in ServiceNow tool only. So there we are going to implement lot of things based on a client requirement. I'll show you everything.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Lakshman. Yeah, no worries. You can continue from now. And then if you have any queries, just note it somewhere and you can ask me at the end of the session. Okay, Lakshman. Okay, fine then. So we are with the modules in ServiceNow. So let us know about like in what are the modules we have in ServiceNow. Okay, so based on these modules only, the requirement will be dependent. Okay, or else based on a requirement only, which we are going to choose the modules. Okay, so let me go with like in the modules which we have. See, we do have like an ITSM, ITOM, GRC, ITBM, performance analytics, training management system, IoT, and AI applications like, and AI operations which we have, and ATF as well, and HRSD. Okay, if I go with like in the list of things which we have, okay, let me show you like in the brief information regarding this. See here, these are the modules which we have in our service now. See, we have a three flows: IT workflows, employee workflows, customer workflows, and creative workflows. Okay, so see, this is what something. So in ServiceNow products, we have like in Now platform, we have three workflows. One is like in customer workflow, employee workflow, and IT workflow. So based on these workflows, we have 11 solutions. See, ITSM, ITBM, ITOM, GRC, ITAM, DevOps, Security Operations, and HRSD, CSM, App Engine, and App Store. Okay, so these are the things. This is a basic level which we just need to know about, like in service now. This is what ITSM, Information Technology Service Management. So ITSM stands for, this is what actually Information Technology Service Management. So here we are going to cover in our training session this ITSM module only. This ITSM module and with the integration stuff. Okay, so this in ITSM module we have a incident management, problem management, change management, service request management, and CMDB. So CMDB is nothing but configuration management database. As I showed you like in assert table, and we do have like in CMDBs as well. So configuration items which we have, we are gonna cover that. Okay, so the concept whatever which we are going to cover in our training is, this is what actually. So these ITSM concepts will have, which we are going to cover like in all this admin and developing part, and then integration stuff as well. So in integration which we're going to cover, what is web services, what is the types of like and integration types. We have inbound integration, outbound integration, REST API, SOAP, and everything. And in developing stuff, and then all this administration part as well. So this is what which we are going to cover in our whole training. Okay, which we are going to cover our ITSM module and integrations. Okay, so let's say example, if you are good with like in this ITSM stuff, okay, that will be easy for you to understand the rest of the modules as well. ITOM, ITBM, GRC, ITAM. Okay, so HRSD, all these things and all. So see, let us know about like an ITOM. So ITOM is nothing but information technology operational management, which includes service mapping, discovery, event management, and cloud migration, all these things. Okay, and we do have like an ITBA module as well, information technology, business management. So here we have a finance management, project portfolio management, demand management, HR module, ITGRC risk management. So this will go ahead with like in business process, business perception actually. Okay, so which is something which will go in between like in business leads and clients and all these things and all. Okay, and we do have like a remaining stuff as well. It depends on like a requirement which we are gonna go ahead. So see, we have a ITAM, information technology asset management. So asset management, which I showed you here before, right? Asset table stuff. Okay, so this asset table thing which we are going to work on. So the last project which I worked on like an ITAM only. Okay, so it depends on like in our project requirement, which we can explore a lot actually. So the main thing which we just need to focus is nothing but ITSM. Okay, let's say you are good with like an ITSM and your project, the very first project you got in a some other module. Okay, they'll give some time, they'll give like a few trainings and KTs for you, and that will be far enough for you to explore. You just need to learn a lot. You can go with like in documents, YouTube videos and everything, and you can explore the remaining stuff as well with the help of with the basics of like an ITSM. Okay, so a lot of organizations or a lot of openings will be there like an ITSM is like an basic stuff. Okay, then they will, the demand will be like an ITSM, ITOM, and now it is like an HRSD now. Okay, it is what something based on like a requirement only. It doesn't stick to like an only one or two modules. Okay, so while going on with like an all the things and all, like while working, we are going to touch each and every stuff as well. Let's say if you're good with like in all the modules, then your profile will like in awesome. Okay, so this is what something which we are going to cover about like in the modules actually. So modules is nothing but a kind of like in session or parts, service now. Okay, and let me go with like in the next one, versions of ServiceNow actually. So versions in ServiceNow is nothing but, let me give a one real-time example here. So version is nothing but, yeah. So we are using like in mobile phones, right? So we'll get a software upgrade notification maybe like in within a few months, like a 3 months or once, or 4 months once, or 5 months once, or 6 months once, right? So what will happen after upgrading my software, after when if I install like a latest version, what will happen to my phone? What and all the changes will be there in my phone after upgrading a software?
Themes will be changed,
Correct.
and yeah, any extra features will be added, like system,
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
system performance will increase.
Correct. Right. So yeah, you are absolutely right. Actually, in the same way, here we have a versions in service now. So what and all the tool which we are using, the instance, we call it, right? So the instance, we are going to upgrade our instance. Let's say there is like in one kind of features which we have before. Okay, which we are going to include the other extra features or advantages in our thing, advancements in performance. Exactly. Yeah, so this is what not only about like in performance, maybe theme, maybe UI changes, maybe like in some other stuff like in internal concepts. It's like an advanced kind of stuff will be there. Okay, so these things and all which will be like an added extra. I'll tell you. So this recording which I'm going to share you end of a session, just put it out like in your email IDs. Okay, I'm going to take you like in your email IDs and I will share you to you. Okay. Yeah, so let me show you like in one normal use case. It's like a scenario for you so that you'll get to know how the versions will work on. Okay, what, my screen got stuck or what? Yeah, see, if I navigate to like in the instance over here, this is not like in version actually, just for like an understanding purpose, I'm changing the UI. So I'm changing to like in switch to UI 15. Okay, so see, this UI is different, right? This is like an older one which we are not gonna use now. So when compared to UI 15, so UI 16 is like a very much advanced, right? This is very pretty much good and it's like in somewhat comfortable for us, right? So in the same way we have our versions as well. So the older version will have like in older features and the newer versions which will have like a newer things. Okay, so if I get it out like in, see, the versions of like in service now. So it start from like in 2011. The first version is like in Aspen and Berlin and then Calgary and Dublin. So in this way, it is starting from like an alphabetic manner A and it will go with like in Z. So after Z, I'm not sure what they are gonna do. Maybe they will come up like an A or A B or AC or something else. Okay. So they are just taking out like in the major cities and capitals of whole old. Okay, so now the latest version is like a not cubic. Now the latest version is like in San Diego. So Rome also it's done, and now the latest version is like in San Diego. So this San Diego which we have, let me show you how to check it out like in our latest version. Just type it out like in stats. Okay, and here we'll get, see, my build name version is like in Rome. Rome is the version which I'm using currently in this thing. We are going to use like in the versions which we can set it out like in our phone as well. Latest version will get a version dot two dot three dot something it will get. So in the same way, the version which we have is like in Rome, and the latest one is like in San Diego, which recently it came up. 2 weeks back, San Diego is like an also released. Okay, so this is what about like in the versions. Now the latest one is like in San Diego. So we'll get like a lot of advanced features over here. Okay, let's say if I go with like in Fuzzy. Okay, if I compare with like an existing bun, there will be like a lot of changes will be there. Not much, maybe 20 to 30% of changes will be there. Okay, let's say there is like in one concept called workflows. Okay, workflows is nothing but a sequence of activities which we are going to perform based on our requirement. So this is what something based on requirement which we there might be a chance to write a scripting as well. So what they came up with like in a new version, they introduced flow designers. In flow designers, the same requirement which we can perform just like in workflows without scripting. So in that way which they are going to come up with like in different advanced features and UI changes, lot whatnot, everything. Whenever we compare with like an older version, we'll get to know what and all the advanced things which we got in a current version. And there will be like a lot of workshops and then lot of meetings will go on with like in service. Now we can get to know all the stuff as well, and we'll get to know a lot of documents as well regarding this, what and all the new things which we have in the latest version. Okay, you can check it out like in a documents in a Google, you can Google it, or else even in a YouTube also you can get it. Okay, and this is about like in the version thing actually. And then after the versions, this is what something the PDI and ServiceNow tool. So PDI is nothing but, as I told you, personal developer instance. As I showed you before, this is what the PDI. So the PDI view will be like this. So this is what something which we will discuss in the next class. Monday, I'm going to tell you how to create a ServiceNow account with your Gmail. It's like which is like a free of cost, and how we need to request this instance and how we are going to navigate these things and how we are going to use this one. Okay, what and all these options which we have, different options we have right here and everything. Okay, these things and all which we are going to learn in the next class. This is what something which we can say PDI, instance based implementation, which we are going to work on. Okay, and see, then this tool demo is nothing but something so which I can say, let's say I told you, right, I can order any kind of like in stuff in my service now. Let's say I just need to order something. Let me show you how the order things and all will go ahead. Yes, Kamal, I will share the real-time experience as well. Okay. Yeah, see here, we have a request something, right? So I just need to order something, maybe laptop, maybe phone, or else anything. Okay. So if I want to order this one, just I'll click on this specific thing. Okay, so I'll go with like in my software updates, and if I want to add any further additional requirements regarding my software, I'll add it, or else I'll click on order now. Now I'll just need to go confirmation with like in who is the requester for. I'll go with like in the person existing stuff only, person only. Now one request will be generated. Okay. Now based on this request item, so service now support team or service providing team will work on this request, and everything is like invalid and your request is like an approved by your manager or TL or someone else, then that will be delivered to your shipping address. See here, I have a approvers as well, group approvers, all this stuff and all. Okay, so these things and all which we will learn later whenever we discussing about like in catalog items and workflows and all these things and all. Okay, so this is what something which we can do by using like in service now as well. So this why we need to use this. Let's say I'm going to work on like in one project. So I'm working with like in the older laptop which is not in a good condition, which is not working properly. I just need to replace it, right? Or else I'm a new hire. I just need to request something. So this is what something which I can do by using a self-service. Okay, if you don't having this access, then behalf of you, in your team members or your lead or someone, or else IT department people can do in behalf of you actually. Okay, this is what which we will discuss later very clearly. Okay, as a beginning, starting day, so that I'm not going to bother you more. Okay, this is for something which we are call it as a PDI, personal developer instance. Okay, so yeah, guys, this is about like in ServiceNow portal, which I showed you before. So here we are going to go with like in self-service activities, requesting something and a knowledge basis. If I want any kind of information, okay, I need to reset my password. I just need to go with a step-by-step process what to do. Or else I just need to order something. What is the process of that specific thing? So here we'll get like an articles in this knowledge base. I can get with like a lot of help as well. So this portal which I showed you before, look like this actually. So here I do have like a knowledge base and I have like can get help community stuff. See, uh, based on like in my requirement and my issue and my concern, I can navigate over here and I can go ahead. So directly I can type it out my issue over here. See, hardware issue I have. Let's say example, my hardware is like not working properly. Okay, if I type it out this one, so I'll get the all the related regarding like an hardware issue of all the articles. How do I quit an application that is just not responding? So all these things based on my keywords, I'll get an articles. I can open any of an article and I can go with the remaining stuff, whatever I just need to know about it. Okay, and this is what something which I can say service portal. Service portal view will look like this actually. Okay, yeah, so we are into this actually. So thank you for being patient and listening to like an each and everything, whatever I'm uh, covered till now. So now it's your time for like in queries, guys. Yeah, it's open for you. So we are open with like in your queries. Yes, Karthik, go ahead. Yeah, you raised your hand. Go ahead, Karthik.
Yeah, you sorted out my query in the beginning itself. See, just I wanted to know, like, how long this course will take to learn, ma'am.
It will take us for like an our training is like in 45 to 50 hours of training actually, but I cannot
Okay,
guarantee you like in within a 50 hours you will be perfect, because it depends on like an year hard work.
okay,
Okay, yeah,
sure.
go ahead.
So along with
We
that, we have to practice. Along with
exactly,
this, we have to practice the JavaScript, correct?
yes, JavaScript, not only JavaScript, the concepts whatever which I'm gonna cover. Okay, everything is like an
Okay.
important.
Hi, ma'am.
Yeah, hi.
Ma'am, definitely the coding knowledge is required. Minimum basic is must
It
be
will be,
before us.
yeah, it will be good while working actually as a ServiceNow developer, as your role is like an as a developer, right? So if you're good with like in the scripting and all, then that will be more comfortable while working with like a project. It's not the kind of like a mandatory as a administrator. If you go with like an administrator, then not required. But if you want your profile as like any kind of like an demand, or your profile need to be like in somewhat weightage, then you need to learn that as well. So
So the
let's
thing is difference.
mm,
Like we are came from non-technical background completely.
No
So
problem at all. JavaScript is not a kind of like an, it's not too complicated stuff and all. It's like an easy only. Just know basics, that's it. Then later on, based on your requirement, you can explore a lot. No worries. Don't worry about like in scripting stuff and all. Just start your journey, and based on the flow, everything you'll get to know.
ma'am.
Okay,
Uh,
Okay.
as this is like an, yeah.
yeah, Priyanka. How many hours will you take for a day for a session?
Per day it is like in 1 hour, 7:30 to 8:30. But
Okay.
sometimes based on your queries and our concepts, it might extend like in 10 to 15 minutes.
Uh, Hello.
Yeah,
Ma'am, you told me different types of module ITSM, IOTM.
correct.
That's it. So, as a service now developer, you need to know about all modules.
Not
Yeah, only.
required. Go ahead, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, that's it. I because I am interested in ITSM, so
Mm.
only ITSM is sufficient. Yeah.
Yeah, let me tell you one thing actually. So, as I told you, like an ITSM is a basic level of a service now
Mm,
beginner. So, if you are good with like an ITSM, then the basic terms, what and all the things which is there in like an administration part and developing part, you'll
mm,
get to know. Okay, so 60 to 70% will be covered over there. Okay, and most of our clients and projects will be there in a ITSM only. Okay,
okay.
and then the rest of the thing which I'm going to cover is like an integration. So integration thing also is a kind of demanding thing. If you're good with like an integration, your profile will be a
Mm,
more weightage will be added. Okay, and let's say unfortunately you joined one company, interview was taken was done with like an ITSM and integration, and in your project they're assigning a different module. So what I
okay.
just need to do, you might get like on this question as well. So here what you need to do is like in, so your basics of ITSM and integration knowledge will help you a lot to explore the remaining module as well. So I'm pretty sure about if you're good with like an ITSM, then the remaining modules will be like in very easy. So in ITSM only we'll get more coding as well, script as well. Whereas if I go with like an ITAM or else ITOM, so there we need to manage the things and we need to configure a lot of things over there. Okay, so that will be easy to understand. No need to worry about like in modules. Just focus on our classes and our concepts. Just make sure all the concepts will be there in your mind and hands. Okay, practice well. For sure you will get placed, and then it will help you a lot to explore the rest of the modules as well. So how many modules are there in your hand? Your profile will be that much demand. Demand will be there.
Okay.
Ma'am, for
Yeah.
administration position, is
Mm.
non-technical graduate or student is eligible, ma'am? Administration department.
Yes, of course, but if you are good with like in developing as well, then that is like a lot of scope will be there to you, right? To place earlier.
And my question is like every module you will teach, ma'am, administrator, developer, and everything within a limited time. How much we can grab?
In only in ITSM we have administration and developing all these deviations and all. It's like an not deviations, dividing all these parts and all. If I go with like an item, let's say we have a ham and sam, we are going to work on hardware assets and software assets. If I go with like in item, we are going to work with discovery, service mapping, event management, all these things. So here based on requirement these things will change on and configurations will change on. If you are good with like an ITSM, then that will be easy to configure and easy to work on those modules as well. Okay, and the last point which I just need to convey for this question is, if you are going with like an only with the administrator, okay, that will won't make a lot of sense actually, because there is like a lot of developers out there who are very much good in developing as well. So better learn both, and then update your profile, explore a lot, learn a lot. And I believe one sentence a lot, learning is earning. How much you learn, that much you can earn. Maybe like in money, respect, whatever it might be, confidence, everything.
So Priyanka, you are going to cover ITSM
Correct.
for this course. This is a basic, right?
Mm-mm.
So if you learn this ITSM,
Mm-hmm.
if there is any other programs, we can easily, if we get
Yeah,
any other programs, we can easily
understand and you can get
understand.
it.
Yes, with
Correct.
the KT sessions.
Correct.
Yeah, you
So,
got.
Priyanka, I have a doubt.
Hmm.
Will this training be included a JavaScript language as well?
Here I'm going to brush up the JavaScript only. Only one class which I'm going to take it up like in JavaScript. What and all the things, basics of like in what are data types, what are conditions which we use, what are functions, what are methods. So these things which I'll take it out, go which I can walk through. But internally you just need to do some homework as well on this
So, is
because
there any? Okay,
mm,
okay.
go ahead.
Is there
Ma'am,
is there any project being assigned to us while in training? So after training, we would be assigning some projects, right?
Mm, mm,
So
mm.
is there any project assigned to us so that we can work on it and deliver to you, and
let
you make sure that this is correct?
Yeah,
Is there?
assignment kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So here what I'll do, our training will be in the form of like in the first starting, I'll take you like in 5 to 6 minutes of, giving a notes of a concept. And then later I'll explain the whole concept, what it is and how it is and what's the purpose of that. And I will show you a practical demonstration in our ServiceNow tool. And then I'll go with your question and answers, your queries, your doubts and everything. So in the third point, the practical demonstration, I will go with the real-time scenarios, whatever I did in my projects. Okay, so that will help you a lot to explore and then to practice as well. So whatever which I work, it's like, and I showed you one use case or scenario in my tool. So you can frame your question, you can frame your, by own your thing and you can practice from your end. Even though along with that, I am going to go with assign like a few assignments as well. Let's say I'll give like in one use case for you and you can practice that as well. So in a kind of project point of view, which I cannot give in a starting only, because in one project, if you are good with like an all the concepts, then only you can fulfill like an all the requirements. Actually, if I want to fulfill one requirement, I need to write a business rule. Maybe I need to create like an event management. I just need to create like an event registry. I need to create like a notification. So it depends on like an combo actually. So what I'll do, I'll go with like an each concept with the real-time use case and I will give you one task. Okay, end of a session, all finish like an all the training, which I can assign you like in few more tasks as well. Then you can achieve a lot.
Thank
Got
you.
it? Yeah.
Priyanka, I have one question.
Yes, I got one question from like a chat actually. So just please hold on. From a Redmi Note 9 Pro. What was the name? What's the name? What's your name? Okay, so he mentioned like in I'm 2015 passed out. What's the scope for me and how much time it will take to sustain? Okay, as it is like in 2015. Okay, so now you are with like in 6 years of gap is there for you from what is it after your education, right? After your graduation, so you can directly go with like in what you're doing right now, on which stream or what you're doing right now. Are you working as like in any non-banking sector? Okay. So you can directly go with like in 3 to 4 years of your banking thing. Okay. Then 2 to 3 years into like in service now. That will help you a lot to go ahead with the, if you directly go with like in 6 years, then your challenges, you might face like a lot of challenges while working. Maybe requirement kind of stuff, or else maybe tasks they might give like a lot of, somewhat advanced things which they might assign to you. So just go with like in the lesser experience, maybe 2 to 3 years of experience, and gain knowledge over there in your projects, learn a lot, and then you can later you can move with like in your experience, maybe 6 years or 7 years you can mention, so that that will be manageable for you. And this 2 to 3 years of experience, whatever you worked in real time, that will help you a lot to manage, next company. You got your point, right? You got it now. Just type it out like an yes or no so that I can repeat again. If not,
Ma'am, duration how many days, ma'am?
duration is like in 45 to 50 hours of training actually.
Hours of training.
Yeah, 45 to 50. Yeah.
Okay. Fees, ma'am?
Fee, you can check it out with like an year referral. Who referred you?
Actually, I got I had chat in Instagram, ma'am.
Oh,
So they
in
gave me meeting link.
Instagram is nothing but that is a service now underscore training page, na?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's me only. What's your name? Sorry,
Manoj. Manoj.
Muhammad.
Manoj.
Yeah, Manoj, just ping me over there in the Instagram page and I'll check with you. Okay.
Oh, okay, ma'am. Okay.
Okay, fine then. Yeah, and one more question which I got from a chat. Let me check it out. Okay, ma'am, I came from non-technical background, MBA graduation HR. I'm having 3 years relevant finance banking experience, so I'm eligible for it. And how much time it take to learn the times and how much experience will be calculated for service no jobs? Yeah. So as you are from like an MBA, so that's fine actually. Okay, if you have like in 3 years of like in finance banking experience as well, no worries. Just learn this a lot. Okay, that will help you to manage the skills, to manage in your work experience as well. Let's say that you got like in one project and you are good with like in all the concepts which we covered, then you can manage and you can work over there. And I'm going to give like a few more tips as well for you, how to handle the things and how you just need to go ahead with like in, let's say you want any of requirement which you are not aware of. Okay, so how to handle those things and all, then everything which you can go with those things. So no need to worry about the stuff and all. Just go with like in your current experience. As it's like in 3 years, you can mention like in 1.5 year, 1 year is like in some other stuff, and you can go with the 2 years or 3 years into service now. Okay, then you can sustain over here. Don't worry about you are from with like in some other background or non-IT sector or which you're not with a good in scripting. You can start from now. No one is great, no one is perfect, so everyone is like in still learning stage only. Even I'm learning still. Even our colleagues are learning still. Even my project manager is like in still learning. Don't stick on to like in I'm not sure about those things, I'm not good in scripting. Just leave those points here itself and move forward. Okay, and I think your question
Yeah,
got clear, right, Lakshman?
Priyanka, I have one question.
Go ahead.
Under integration, you will cover LDAP integration as well, or
LDAP, as of now, I'm not going to cover that actually. So I can guide you how the LDAP integration will go ahead, because this LDAP integration, in my experience, I haven't got much, requirement on like an LDAP. So that's what I removed that LDAP from the service now list. Actually, in a
yeah,
starting classes, I got that. Yeah, go ahead.
actually I went through till the creation of data source. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So apart from that, I didn't work on that. So as you mentioned integration, so I thought it will be covered.
Yeah, I'm gonna cover like in REST and so, because that is a very frequently customers will ask us to integrate by using a REST and then
Yes,
SOAP actually. And this LDAP is like in very rare. The requirement will be very less. So how my syllabus paper was like in framed is nothing but I prepared this because of like in the most of the things whatever which we use very frequently.
okay.
80 to 90% which will come very frequently while we are working, those things which I have added in our syllabus list actually. So that's what the syllabus was like in framed.
Okay.
Okay, and yeah, let me go with the chat box. I do have a lot of questions over here, I guess. Yeah, will there be any certification given after? Yeah, this certification will won't help you a lot while while placement, and also you can go with the direct service or certification, CSA, Certified System Administrator. Okay, you can register in Now Learning and you can finish a course over there and you can write an exam. That certification will help you a lot. Even by interview as well. So the certification which giving in a institute or something will not last forever. And let me answer the straight answer for this as well. As of now, we are not providing any certification for like in our training. If you want for sure, then we can plan that as well. Okay, Dheeraj?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. May I know how much does it cost approximately? You might be having some.
CSA?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
CSA.
is like in $300. So if your organization is like in partnered with a service now directly, then that is a free of cost. If not, you need to pay from your pocket.
Okay. Okay,
Okay.
Priyanka. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll
Ma'am,
I'll guide you on this later.
you will provide placement assistance also, ma'am.
Yeah, I'll guide you.
Okay. Like how
And
many chances? Like how
sorry,
many chances you will provide interview, ma'am?
chances and all. This will discuss later. As this is like a recording session, just we'll discuss after this.
Okay.
Yeah, and I got one more question. Just hold on, guys. Karthik, one of my friend did his UG in correspondence after plus two. Okay, he'll be eligible to work in IT sector after doing service now course. Actually, any degree is like an eligible. Normal degree, general degree, or else professional degree is like an eligible. Diploma plus two will not be like an getting into like an IT sector, software sector. This correspondence course, I'm not sure, is it like a degree?
Yes, he
Uh,
did the
then,
BSc Computer Science.
then fine, that will be fine.
Ma'am, one
Okay.
question. Like
Mm-mm.
I have an irrelevant experience. Like I'm working in a finance underwriting.
Mm-hmm.
So if I learn real time things and I want to pitch the company, then definitely the hiring people will look after my experience, right? They will see that analyst and like underwriting analyst. So how we can like tell to them
Yeah,
that we are have an experience for real time like that.
yeah. See, here what the BGV will go is nothing but the first point which they will check is like in whether you are a genuine candidate of that specific organization you mentioned there. Okay, and this is the first point which they will check it out, and the second point which they will go with the period which you mentioned over there, maybe 2 years, 2.5 years, 3 years, 5 years, whatever it might be. They will check it out with the period as well. Okay, and the third thing is like in your bank statements, your pay slips, and then your PAN card, and then your Form 16, your passbooks of like an PF statements. They will check all these things and all. After finishing all these things and your educational background by BGV as well, then only they will come with like in your designation. So your designation is showing like in directly with a .NET developer or Java developer, maybe like in civil engineers, like in civil site engineer. So if that is like in something different, then them you might be caught. But if it is like an analyst, associate, or else developer, maybe like in technical assist, okay, technical support, so they won't bother about like in all this stuff and all. So in BGV they won't go deeply with your domain. They will go with like in, are you a genuine candidate for that specific organization or not? So very rarely that will happen, checking out like in domains and projects and all. For sure it's like in 95% that won't happen. Very rarely, maybe they might have like a very congested, let's say there is like an four candidates, then they just need to hire only two candidates, and four is like an eligible and everyone performed well, then only they can go with like in some other terms, or else they won't go.
And that
So
means
you can.
our
Mm,
company, what experience we have in our company, that service no work must be a for background verification, or it's not like that.
not like that actually. They will check it out whether you are a genuine candidate of that specific organization, okay, and the period, and then your PF statements, your Form 16, your bank statements, they will check it,
So
all
our
this
real
stuff.
time experience will be calculated, right?
Correct,
For the
correct.
2 years or anything.
Yeah,
And my concern is I don't have enough knowledge on JavaScript, not enough knowledge, zero knowledge in JavaScript. And all.
no
So
problem. You
is
can
that
start
2 months
from
is
now.
enough for me.
You just need to, work hard. No worries, actually. So at the starting stage, no one knows anything, right? You can start from now and you can grab all the stuff. So these 2 months, just focus on like 2 to 3 hours of day, and fixed on like in any kind of, what to say,
Okay.
timetable, and then work from your end. That will help you a lot.
So
Within a,
any mock interviews and all will keep from your end for better
yes, if you
purpose
if you
till
are
the time.
interested, yeah, if you are interested, I'm open with that as well. Okay, just let me know when you are ready with those things, and I can schedule with your your availability and my availability, and I can go with that as well. No worries.
Sure, man. But the timings only trouble for me. I was working in night shift, so that is
Okay, yeah,
Same
I
for
understand.
same for me also, ma'am. We are working in the night shift.
Even
Mhm.
yeah, even I'm working in the night shift, so that is the main concern. I was thought of talking about it,
Mhm.
and thanks for Sahan for bringing up this.
Okay. Actually, this is what something the flexible time for me. So my project is like in Australian timings right now. So they will come up with like in from 8 o'clock only morning. So my calls will start from 9 o'clock in a early morning. So in 9 a.m. So that's what which I cannot make it up in a morning sessions actually. That's what I shifted to like an evening 7:30. So what you can do, just you can follow like in the recording videos. Whenever you get free time or any break or something, you can jump into like an hour session. Maybe 10 minutes or 15 minutes you might not be available. This 15 to 15 minutes you can follow our recording video. If you're not sure about that, okay, come up again with like any questions and I'm gonna clear you. If still this time is like a not sufficient for you, then we can take it up, go with the backup
Ma'am,
classes on weekends. Yeah.
for better purpose, like create a group, ma'am. Everybody, like whoever like joined on the live sessions, we might contact with few people. Like we will be in touch with them or anything. Like
Yeah, as of now, these groups, things and all is not allowed right now, actually. So we'll speak about it later. So I understand your concern actually, as like an institute policies and all, we are not gonna create like in groups and all due to few issues was happened earlier. So I'll help you out. No worries about it, okay? Don't worry,
okay, ma'am.
I'll do something for you. Yeah, the thing is like in you just need to acquire you just to follow like in the videos that will help you a lot. And then if you still not able to done, and I'll be there, okay, you can ping me or you can mail me or else you can call me, so I will be helping you, okay?
Ma'am, how the current trend for the service now, ma'am? Like after 5 years or like how the future
Yeah,
will be
this
for
is like in booming actually. So this service now is like in all the service now experts, their inputs on this is like for sure 10 to 15 years this will be like in booming for sure. So recently I got this update from like a lot of service now experts. There is like in one group in like in WhatsApp with like a lot of experts in my group. So there they are discussing about this as well. So they are discussing how long this service now will be like in this booming and this demand will be there. So their estimations is like in nearly 15 years. Okay, so don't worry about that as well. And let me go with the question which I have in chat. Keshava, what is the demand of service now tool? Yeah, this is what I answer right now. Yeah, demand will be like in high, and job opportunities also, which we have like a lot actually. Okay, so a lot of clients is like in migrating to like in some other tools to like in service now. So we do have like a lot of openings as well. And what about interview preparation? So interview preparation, Kamala, we are Kamal, right? Sorry. Kamal, I'm going to provide you like in sample resumes. You can upload in your job sites and you can go with the calls as well. And then one more thing is like, and I'm going to share a interview questions for you. I do have like a nearly 6 to 7 documents of like interview questions. If you are good with those stuff, then for sure you can crack those interviews. Nearly 80 to 90% you can crack this. Okay, so don't worry about that as well. Just follow the points and the suggestions which I'm going to give in a middle of us sessions. So I'm going to give like in tips as well, how to manage the work, and I'm going to give like an interview questions as well in between. Okay, Kamal? Yeah, Karthik,
So,
you raised your hand. Hmm.
Priyanka, is this
Yeah.
stuff is enough for crack the interviews,
Yes, of
like these
course.
40, 50
Yes,
hours,
of
of course.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course you
Mm.
can. But the thing is, you just need to put your efforts as well from
Yes,
your
yes,
end.
yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
That
Yeah,
is the main important.
ma'am, if
correct.
office opens
Yeah.
interviews like offline means it will be trouble, right? For people who put real time experience like me.
Yeah.
Office will open, ma'am, definitely, or else like virtual only will
Yeah,
happen with
now
in this year.
normally now the news is coming from like an outside only from like a government or something, but from like a corporate offices and all, it's like an organizations and all, they are not asking all the people to come to like an office actually. That is like an in a hybrid manner. So as from like in my end, most of Oracle they called, and then few startups they call, and few more companies which they called actually, but not like in a full-fledged manner. They just news was came up, but they're not gonna call. Maybe my estimation is like until this year this work from home will last. All the employees are stick with like in this work from home, right? This rent will be reduced and a lot of stuff which we can manage from home. So all the IT employees also, they are going ahead with like in, they are preferring like in working with a for home only. So maybe it won't happen in this year. It's my opinion actually. It won't happen. Maybe if they're gonna ask like in maybe for few projects they might ask to come to like and work from office, and the hybrid in a hybrid manner, maybe TLs, architects, maybe business analysts, they might ask them to come up. So this might take some time, because this is a kind of hypothetical question which we cannot answer exactly. Not only me, everyone, whoever it might be. Okay, yeah, any
Yes,
mock
ma'am.
interview from your, yeah, your side? Yes, if you are interested, I'm open for that mock interviews as well. Just let me know when you are ready so that I can schedule a call and I can take an interview as well for you. Okay, and one more question. Service now is comparison with any testing tool. Testing tool in the sense, I think not like that actually. ServiceNow is a kind of like in software tool only in internally in ServiceNow, which we are going to test it out our development activities. Okay, so that is what which I can say. I think your question, which we cannot compare with any other testing tools. I need it. Okay, I got it. So you are asking like then whether the tester is test as a tester is like an easy, or else ServiceNow is like an easy, right? Yeah, I think even as like a tester also, you just need to go with like in scripting as well. If it is like in automating testing or something else, you just need to know about programming as well, right? So I think as per my individual opinion, so ServiceNow will be good. You can survive as like a developer, and you will get like an lot of exposure and growth as well in your organization, in your current career as well. So tester stuff, yeah, but not like in service now. If you compare with like in service now, then for sure I'll say service now will be like in good. If it is like in some other thing, that will be changed. Okay, fine. What's your name actually? Redmi Note. uh, Can I know your name? Karthik. Okay. Kartika. Fine. Kritika. Sorry, Kritika. Okay, Kritika. Good to know. Yeah, fine, guys. Yeah, questions. I see Karthik. You raised your hand. Is that like in the previous thing which you asked, or is the new one?
No, I raised it before, not now.
Okay, fine, fine then. Yeah, guys. Yeah, questions. All good?
So Priyanka, classes will be start from Monday, right?
Yes, from Monday, same timing, 7:30,
Okay.
14th of this month.
Any joining fees is required for attending the classes, or we
Who
can
referred
pay?
you, Rajesh?
Yeah, actually, I have seen in YouTube.
Where?
Go to
Instagram?
no YouTube videos. I have seen YouTube videos. Then I contacted.
Okay, where you got this Zoom link? From whom you got this Zoom link?
One second, I got it.